So I made a video on the sacred cycle and how we can use the wheel of the year to go on this journey along this spiral path inward on this journey of becoming. And in that, I talk about how every time we complete a cycle, we become more whole, more integrated. I consider it like our leveling up points, right? And this comment was left on that post. And the general gist of what I'm seeing here is that there's both this fear of the cycle and this general feeling of being stuck. And I'm actually not surprised to see this coming up like this, because when I look at fear, what I consider fear to be is a roadblock. Fear can, there are other things that can, but fear is one of those things that just a lot of times just stops us in our tracks. And of course, we can't get unstuck until we move forward. And I believe that our choices and our actions move us forward. So whatever decisions we make, we move forward. So if we're feeling stuck, the only way forward is to act, to move, to make a decision. And fear will stop that a lot of times for a few reasons. One, fear makes us retract, right? So we might backtrack on this journey. Fear also freezes us, right? So we won't step forward. But most of all, if you're looking at it in a physical reality, fear keeps us in our heads. This constant questioning, this constant fear of, well, what if this goes wrong? Or even little things. Gosh, like I think about one of the fears that I've recently released, and it is the fear of saying something wrong or being judged or whatever, like the fear of being too much, the fear of annoying people, like all those little fears. They are small fears in this physical reality. However, what I'm learning as I release those and become more aware of them, that what I'm seeing is that I'm held back a lot less. I'm held back. I speak up, and I speak up when I want to speak up, because I'm not afraid that I'm being annoying. And speaking up like that, I'm opening new pathways in my life. And so one might ask then, well, how do we overcome fear? How do we move through it? It depends. Depends on a lot of things, but there are a few things you can try. The first thing that helps really is to look the fear in the eyes, to look it in the eyes and say, I'm not scared of you in some way. I taught my kids when they were young, I would always say, we ain't scared of nothing. Like that type of thing, because that does help you face the fear, to kind of have a mantra of like, I'm not scared, even when you're feeling scared, telling yourself I'm not scared and facing it. The next thing that you can do, if you can do that and be okay facing the fear, if not, it's fine. Don't try to face anything you're not ready to face. But if you can face it, then what you can do is you can look through it to see what's on the other side. And then you can reprogram and, get over the fear that way. That's kind of the long-term solution, so that fear doesn't come back up, but can also be, time consuming. So you can also just go around the fear. So, not feeling the fear and just moving through and saying, I'm really scared of this, just acknowledging the fear, saying, I'm really scared of this. I'm going to make the next right decision. So I don't know what the perfect decision is, but I know what the next right thing is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move through the fear. Okay. And that will work. And sometimes when we do that, we get confirmation that we can trust our gut, we can trust our instinct, and we become less afraid overall. So there are benefits to either one. It depends on how deep rooted the fear is, whether or not it's going to come back up. Like, there's a lot. This is what I'm saying. There's a lot of nuance to all of this. But those are a few things that might be helpful. So And as always, remember that our journeys are as unique and individual as our spirit, so one of a kind, which means that this is not meant to be direct advice. Direct advice would need more context than what is here. However, I hope that some of this information has given you something that you can do to work on this on your own end, and I hope you are well.